Hey guys, welcome back. And this person no longer needs an introduction. You all know who it is, CJ. First, I would like to say thank you very, very much for the overwhelming support on our last video. It's my first ever 1 million plus view video. And you know, it's a special moment for a YouTuber. So thank you to all those who shared it, supported it, the lovely comments, the thumbs up, and the beautiful things you said about CJ, because she does absolutely look amazing. So, due to popular demand, she's back again. Today we will be doing something that I would say is an edit to a haircut rather than a complete restyle. So this is something that I often offer clients who are looking for a change. They've got short hair and you can't really do hair extensions and do something that's completely dramatic, but they want to push it in a different sort of space. So today what we're going to do with CJ's hair is we're going to take it much shorter through the sides, still making sure we've got softness through the top. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be, again, versatile, left, right, back, really making sure that it stays feminine. So yeah, we're going to get started, and you guys know how it goes, so let's do it. Alright, so for CJ's haircut, the most important part of this is to get the sectioning right. Let me just think. So, obviously face shape and all that is a consideration. Obviously we don't need to think about that with CJ because we've done that well before. Things to look for, big thing to look for is crown. This is the way I know or I locate where I believe the crown is best to be parted, because when you do this, you see the hair growing back, rather than trying to pull this hair back, cutting it here and then it sticks up. That's very important. And then for this particular shape, we need to get the sectioning right to make sure that we get the right part of the head. We don't want it too low, we don't want it too high. So, and then pull this across this way, and I just want to see where this crown is best sectioned. Yep. Sectioning for me is really important. You want to make sure that you take your time with it, because the consequences of dodgy sectioning is just unbalanced haircut. It sticks up where it shouldn't, and I just think take that little bit extra doing those sections, and makes a massive difference to the result. So we're going to start one side at a time. So we're just going to do this one here. And we're going to start with this. There's no other thing that can be used other than clippers. So about me and clipper use, I learned the hard way, as most young stylists do, a long time ago. I always use a one guard. People say, why do you put a number 1 on there? Because if I slip, I can fix it. If you slip with that, you ain't fixing it. So it's just almost insurance. So I'm going to start here, just going to work towards the occipital bone. I'm going to leave myself a couple of centimeters as a transition point. And as you guys will see, always working clipper over comb. I never run the clipper against the scalp unless I'm working on a nape. I just think that's cheating. One thing that I always do when I'm doing ladies short haircuts like this where it's clipped on the side is I don't know, for me, I always work and leave this little point here. I don't know why. Sometimes I take it out, sometimes I leave it there. I guess it's part of cutting a straight line on a round shape. You end up with a diagonal back line, right? So I just think it adds a nice element. I don't really like these sort of brutal, straight up the middle and the back length haircuts on ladies. It's not something I do, but again, it's personal and it's something you should just, you know, speak to your client about. Some people like it quite aggressive in the sides and the back. I like to always have, even when you have quite strong elements like this in ladies' haircuts, they still need to be feminine. I think it's really important. So this is where I generally stop, and I set what's called my marker, my transition line, or whatever some people call it different. I like to map my haircuts. So what I do now is I use some, I guess it's horizontal sections. If I can find the right scissors I need, yep. There they are. Horizontal sections, so you guys can see this way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my transition point and the length. I'm going to do this using horizontal graduation. I'll show you guys from this side so you'll get a better view of the angle rather than me actually closing my scissors. And we'll follow this all the way down into the back, and then we'll work the underneath back to this, and then we'll repeat on the other side. Once that's done, we'll be able to have some fun with the top. So always below 90 degrees, otherwise it's not graduation, because we want to build a bit of shape there. You can always take the weight line out. Yeah? So what we're looking at is this line coming through here, and then I'm going to clip that out to that line. Alright, so my basic shape's there. That's absolutely not finished. This is not a finishing tool. This is a sculpting tool, or to remove hair that we don't need. You can see that now it's coming down here, working into the back, and it gives us a great platform to build shape onto the top. If we need to remove the weight, it's simply just elevating it to 90 degrees and removing that. You hear me say it all the time in my videos, I never cut anything off until I don't need it anymore. Yes, I could go and layer that now, 90 degrees, and get rid of it, but I'm going to keep it there for my transition, and then once I see the balance that I'm looking for on the top, I can then go and compress the sides if I need to. So we'll spin around this way and do this side. It's cute, man. It's really cute.
Cute.
Yeah, cute.
You make me cute.
It's easy to make you cute. Oh, for all you guys out there, I'm wearing this hat today. I need a haircut, but I'm wearing this hat because my favourite baseball team, it's our local baseball team called the Canberra Cavalry, and this hat was given to me by a very dear friend who is involved with the baseball team. His name's Ilya. And yeah, I just thought I'd wear it because I think it's cool. Represent the Cavs, man. See you, Sophie.
Bye.
Sophie was
Beautiful.
Sophie was here having her hair done by Alex. Probably saw her over there in the background. One of the things you guys mentioned in my last video is I talk too much, so I'm just gonna
notice you're a bit quiet.
Yeah, just gonna cut the hair today. Yeah. You can see I'm always working backwards into that diagonal back shape, and you'll see it. I'll just do it roughly just so you can see what happens. You can see I end up working and you have that nice little point in the back, and sometimes I take it off and sometimes I leave it there. I just think that it's a nice element, something that I do. It's I'm sure I'm not the only one that does it, but it's definitely something that for me makes my haircuts recognisable. I know I've done that haircut because of the way that hair falls down into the back. But like I said, we may take it off. We'll see when we get a little bit closer to the desired length, and that's when I'll be sitting down doing my finishing, which I always do scissor over comb. As the other side, a little bit of
Magic water.
the magic water, just setting our target length with the scissor. Horizontal graduation, as I've said many times in my videos, horizontal graduation is the best way to build shape, in my opinion. It's what I believe was the light bulb moment I had at my time at Sassoon. Actually, it made a massive difference to the way I cut hair and to the way I built shape. So just make sure we've got some balance there. Yep. And then we can now bring the length up to this, again using clippers. And then we will be almost ready to bring that top down. Some of the feedback I got from you guys, not only was it shut up mate, just cut hair, it was about just making it a little bit lighter. So today we're obviously streaming live to YouTube, live on our live stream, and yeah, we're just you know, maybe not make it so sterile and a little bit more light-hearted. Not that that means we take the haircut or the result any less serious. How you feeling, CJ, all right? So essentially where I'm up to now is for me the most critical part. And I'm going to spin CJ around this way, and you can see. Clearly, you have two almost, you know, graduated lines in the side, which are clearly far too wide, and I am going to take them shorter. But the critical part of this, and I mentioned it in the beginning, is knowing how the hair grows. Because if we go and buzz that off straight from the outset, without keeping into consideration, if you could just look up at the ceiling for me, darling, that crown and how that's going to fall, all of a sudden we run out of room to transition from short to long. Now that might be okay if you want to do something super aggressive and just buzz a side off and have it undercutted, but in this case, I haven't decided which side yet, but one side's going to be completely disconnected and the other side's going to be blended, and what that'll allow CJ to do is have a side that's really, really bold and then a side that she can actually make it look very, very elegant, and actually just looks like a really beautiful short haircut. Something I was saying it to a client I cut earlier today, I'll never ever cut someone's hair and I'll be forced to wear it one way all the time. You must give versatility, and that never happened before. You must have, it happens all the time. You saw that live, right? You must have versatility in your styling. You can't sort of bottleneck someone into getting up and having to dry or do their hair a certain way every day, because not only is it boring to have your hair looking the same all the time, but it's also, you know, unrealistic to expect someone to make their hair look exactly the same as we do in the salon. So, and you'll see is now as I bring the sides down, it allows us length to transition. Look at the growth pattern here. If we had to buzz that up into the side, all of a sudden you end up with less than a centimetre to transition into the length on the top. Yeah, sure, you could just buzz it up and have something that's completely disconnected, but I think you can do it more intelligently than that. You can take your time, section it correctly, and you can have modern, edgy haircuts, but they don't have to be like super aggressive. So that's now going to allow me, by leaving that weight and that length there, to transition that in. And of course I'm going to take it out, as I said. Let's have a look at the other side. Other side goes really well. You actually see, just by combing it, it almost looks like it blends already. And that's just because this is the way that CJ's hair grows. So you can see that it's already going that way. Cool, huh? Which way is your favourite way to do it?
That way.
That's the way it was when you came in, yeah? Yeah, it's that way. It's definitely that way. All right, so before I go cutting the top, I always check the distribution. So I comb a different way. So we'll spin CJ this way. I comb the hair this way. All of a sudden you can see that you get that little bit of natural lift, and that's obviously for the crown, from the crown. But as soon as I do it this way, you start to get that better flow and better synergy with the hair. So by cutting the hair with a definite parting, is probably not something I do often either, because I like to have flexibility with moving the hair around a little bit, and you can see that the hair just flows really good that way and it comes back this way. So this is actually going to be where this will be the strong side, so this will be the quite short side, and then this side will be completely blended. So you see a slight little undercut to about there, and then it'll blend. And then the other side is going to be a lot softer. We're going to use that length to blend it in a bit more, I think. It's good. All right, first and foremost, we've got to cut this crown properly. Otherwise we're going to end up with a disaster. You've actually got two. You've got one there and one here. It's pretty cool. Yeah. That's the dropped one. For those who criticise me for dropping my comb and not washing it, that's a new one. See? Dropped, new. Someone hammered me. Can't believe you dropped your comb, didn't wash it. Yeah, probably a fair call. But the floor's pretty clean. It's cleaned every day. Jimmy's starting to become more interactive as well. Like I said, we're going to keep it light. All right, crown length. Now, essentially, this is going to be the length, and everything in the middle is going to get removed. So it's very, very important that this gets set right. And it actually doesn't have to be very much shorter than what it is. We're going to then bring this all the way up there. So I'm going to start with this. keep going until we run out of hair. Let's move it in. For those of you just tuned in on the live stream, hello from Canberra, the nation's capital of Australia. We're here with the beautiful CJ, who is allowing me to cut her hair even shorter and sexier than last time. So you guys can see what I'm doing here. Using my guide that we left there on the side to transition this side in. Spin around so you can see a bit more. And then, as I said to you before, I'm just going to start over directing this so it's disconnected, because we want to leave this length here, because that's going to form this little bit of softness that we're going to have coming through the side. Awesome. So that's all I'm going to do for there until it's dry. And once we dry it off, I'm going to fix all this. It's all going to be blended all perfectly. I love that fringe. It's going to come through there. It's going to be hot. All right, working into this side real quick, because this is literally, like I said in the beginning of this video, this is an edit. So this is really like, if I wasn't going slower for you guys, it would literally be maybe a 20-minute edit. So because largely the top's going to be left untouched, so makes it super quick. Working around vertically now because we want compression, and then this is completely over directed. So now all this hair is going to come back, and you can see here in the side, this will end up not even being touched at all. So this comes all the way back. Make sure you over direct it. Really awkward and try not to get in the way. Yeah, you can see that coming down this way, and then want to push us forward. End up just with that nice little blend coming through the side there, and then we're going to work all this up quite short. Be fun. Almost ready to dry it off. Yeah, I think I'm going to dry it off from here. Feeling alright?
Yeah.
Don't feel too naked. The side's looking really cute. Like, just need to take that in a bit tighter. You're going to have a nice little sweat fringe there. You can show them that little sweat fringe. And then the other side is actually a little bit longer and softer. It's cute. Alright, grab a hairdryer. And you guys can see how brutal that would have been. Like, look at that crown. You can see how brutal that would have been if that hadn't have been sectioned out. Like, if you had have brought that over here and cut it too short, like, it's just going to stick up. You can see there that I've really cut to natural fall in the back. Yeah, it's so important. We just changed the whole face shape. like just you can see just
Yeah.
chisels that cheekbone like.
Yeah.
And when I take this in a bit tighter, it'll be even better. So now that I've got my shape in there, you can see in the back, that's all coming down. This is all going to go. We're going to blend all that. You're going to see it. You're going to see it all come off. You can see that the crown distribution's good. Going to take it in tighter here, and then we're going to do a little bit of blending here, just on the side. But this is the side I actually want to keep really, really super long and feminine. So it'll just be a matter of just trimming off these little ends that have become victim of having light hair. So when you're blonde, obviously the ends get quite trash. So I did it all with the clippers, just adjusted the crown and the distribution through the crown with my scissors. I don't finish with clippers. Now I'm going to grab a long comb and my 7-inch scissors, which are really important for me for scissor over comb. And we're going to do all this scissor over comb, and the only time I'm going to get the clippers is probably just to clean up around the ears there, because I just find it a little bit easier. So for those of you asked, CJ came in today with about a centimetre of regrowth, and she had some existing blonde foils in her hair, and we use this product a lot in the salon. It's a product by Matrix called So Blur, and essentially just sort of flattens down that mousy brown natural base, puts a nice little bit of warmth in it, and just lightens it out. And it's a really quick fix for people who have blonde hair and roots that either are managing conditions, so they don't want to have continuous regrowth applications of bleach, or just exactly what we did, put in between the existing blonde foils and just help blur it or blend it in. Yeah, it's a really, really good one.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And so quick too.
Yeah, it was a quick fix. Was it like 30 minutes or something, 20 minutes? One of the things I often can tell the skill of a hair cutter is when they do scissor over comb. It's a really amazing skill, and you can really tell a lot about how someone cuts hair by the way they do scissor over comb. It's just about control, and I think doing scissor over comb gives it a much better polish. I think clippers leave it quite sort of raw and harsh. I guess for you guys watching, you now realise how important leaving that weight there was. You can see that I would not have been able to create that beautiful profile if I had just gone and buzzed it straight away. It's always been, and look, I respect all people who cut hair and all people who do hair, because I know how hard a skill it is to learn, and everyone does it different, and I think that's the beautiful thing about hairdressing. But for me, things need to have some sort of technical foundation, some sort of theory behind why you do something. I just don't think it's, for me, I like it better when there is actually flow, bend and blend and shape, rather than just buzz, buzz, buzz and then just leave that line. I'm not saying it's not cool and it's not funky and it's really edgy, but I just think this way just flows a lot better, it grows out a lot better, it's more feminine, I think it's more wearable. Some people might say it's a bit more conservative. That may be a fair comment, but that's why I always map and leave those transition points and the extra length along the occipital bone or the crest line, depending on the head shape, because for me, without that hair there, you can't create that beautiful shape, and it's always about shape. And I think that if you just buzz it, it's just flat to the head. You miss out on an opportunity as a hairdresser. The biggest skill you have is making people look different with haircuts. And if you just buzz it to their head shape, it doesn't really cut it. If you create shape on with someone's hair on their head, you can actually make them look really, really different. And that's why I think we should think about what shape we're going to create rather than doing a particular haircut, because taking this haircut off CJ's head, for example, and sticking it on someone else's doesn't necessarily mean it's going to suit someone else. But buzzing, just like up the side, it's sort of like, and again, please don't take offense. For me, it's just primitive. It's just like, just buzz the side of the head and be done with it. I think that you can do it this way a little bit better. But you either love me or hate me. Not everyone likes what I do, but for me, that's why I like to make sure I leave those, because it's all about shape. It's all about the silhouette, and it's all about how it grows out and how it wears. So, and that is just beautiful, beautiful blend. You guys on the webcam can see that too. Amazing. Just very gently scissor over combing a little bit of this weight line out as I come through the nape. And for all those guys who have seen my best known image, which is the infamous purple pixie cut, which is all over the web, this is exactly how you do that side. The open side on that purple pixie cut is done exactly like that, and it allows that flow of hair through, and that's how you get that beautiful transition blend, and you get that flick, and you'll see it when we dry CJ's hair. It comes through, it gets that flick, and end up with all that beautiful movement on the other side. There you go.
Love it.
There you go. Look at that.
Great.
See that flow you get down there? Look at the flow. Just nice. Nice. For those of you who are still there on the live stream, we are going to hang around for about 10 minutes at the conclusion of this haircut, so you guys can ask CJ some questions. If you're not already, you should be following her online. She has Instagram, she has a Facebook page, and she has a website, carandjack.com, isn't it? carandjack.com. Check it out. She's available for modeling and all sorts of things. She's amazing. So I've had the pleasure of having photos of CJ bear my name at the bottom, and they are incredible. I do this because this is how I identify whether it's a weight, it's difference in hair texture and weight that's stopping it from blending, or whether it's a cutting issue. So when you lift the hair up and let it fall really gently, and there's no weight, then you need to, there's no weight lines, then you need to address the weight on top. So when you comb it down like this, it looks like weight. So that's why I do that, because I don't texturize out cutting lines. When I do scissor over comb, it means you didn't do it properly, you've got to do it again. Those awful thinning scissors. However, I probably will use them a little bit just on the back here, but not to blend in hair that hasn't been cut properly, and I haven't cut that properly yet. All right, final transition point. Bring all this forward. You have a direct stationary guideline, and then you're going to get this beautiful, beautiful blend. You can see that that top length that I cut when I was measuring my crown is what I'm using for my guide. And I'm just going to over direct all this, and this is what we're going to create, this beautiful forward line onto that beautiful cheekbone. And it will also address those little dead bits have got to come off in the front there. You can see that starting to form there. This is super hot. Okay, so before we get into texturizing, which we are going to do, we need to address the shape in the front because it's not quite working. So what we're going to do is we need to flow this through, over direct, back to our cutting line. Make sure you elevate it above 90 degrees so it falls soft. If you want the hair to fall soft, you project it further away from zero. The closer to zero we go, the more solid it becomes. The further away you project it, the softer it falls. Rather than cutting it here and then texturizing it soft, you use projection to create a soft line. So this will, guys, on the camera will give you a good insight to how this will look when CJ combs it the other way. So some people, and I said at the beginning of the video, why do I do it this way? Well, if CJ wanted to style it into a really funky quiff, like this, she can, because the sides, you know, allow that to happen because you've got hair pushing it this way, spin around the back. Still a bit of weight there, but I'm going to texturize it now. Cute. I don't know which side I prefer now. So it's because our faces are never perfectly symmetrical. When you wear your hair one side and then flip it, you look completely different. Yeah, it's super cute. All right, let me give you a blast because I know you're scratchy. And then we're going to do some texturizing. Done, finished off my scissor over comb. I'm pretty happy with it. And as I said to you before, I'm just going to go back with my clippers and just sort of rock out these edges. Another thing I'll tell you on ladies' haircuts that I never, ever, ever do. I never cut hairlines. I always just cut them short and leave them natural. Yep, something I do. For me, I just think that makes a haircut too masculine. So I just go in with the clipper and just sort of rock it out and make sure that it's that short, because we don't want to leave any sort of neck mullets. And again, just around the ears. All right, now we get to the fun part. For me anyway. So, to finish this look, we need some texture. And again, I said it before in all my other videos. Rules for texturizing: always texture in the same direction, the same sectioning patterns as you cut. Otherwise, you go and undo your shape. Second thing, always use a really sharp pair of straight blades and be patient. There are some great tools on the market that speed up texturizing, but if you have the time, take the time and do it real. So this is how I'm going to do it. Horizontal sections, and we just really gently point cut this entire haircut just to soften it. Be careful not to go in sideways, otherwise you start removing length. And if you've just gone and cut the whole top and you're really happy with the balance, you'll have to do it again because you change the length. I think you should try, not necessarily a quiff as such, but wear it off your face. Like, you know, like pull it back a little.
Yeah.
Especially now summer's coming, you know, it's probably going to be hot. You're probably going to
It's going to be perfect.
not want the hair on your face.
Yeah.
Bit of beach spray, and just yeah, dry it off the face. I reckon it'll be good. Almost done. So I'm just going to go through now horizontally, using this as my guide, and we're going diagonal forward just to make sure that there's no lumps. See, there's a lump there. That's going to affect it when it styles. Just so you remember my golden rule of hair cutting. Short hair directs long hair. So if you've got short, long, short, you're going to have disruption with the flow. So you want short to long. And then we'll be done. Because CJ's got a modelling gig to go to tonight with a fresh new haircut. Right. That's something else, isn't it? Yeah, it's a bit heavy. I'll show you guys. I just think this is just a little bit heavy. I want to keep the length, but it's heavy. So what we'll do, a little bit at a time. Better. Much better. Done. Alright, so we're just going to style this real quick. Hair's already dry, so we're going to spray down a little bit of Biolarge Hydrosource spray. And I'll do this way because I don't need to see it, you guys need to see it. And just have a look. And I want you guys to go back and have a look at the last video, but look how that's changed the face shape. Amazing. Except that bit's going to annoy me, CJ. That is going to annoy me, I think. Yeah, it just has to be a touch, as we say down under, a bee's dick shorter. A bee's dick. Yes. Yes, all right. A little bit of hydrosource spray, grab a blow dryer. Close your eyes, guys. Knock it off the face. Yeah, it's off the other side too. But of course we know what's good this side. I'm just going to do the tiniest little slice. Just close your eyes for me, gorgeous. first little bit just looked a little bit heavy and unbroken. So again, short hair directs long hair. So if you go and put short hair between long hair, you create separation. That's exactly what we want. Finished with just a wee bit of texture spray. Where's your favourite product? DJ? CJ? Or not DJ?
That's it. That's it.
Matt DeFarner. Should we do it again? Do you want to style it again?
No.
Because did it last time. Do it again. Come on. Let's go.
Okay.
Really important, get your clients to participate in the styling. Because, you know, I'm being serious, like we muck around about it. If they can do it here, just have fun with it, you're not going to break it. Just, yeah, go for it. If they can do it here and I'm happy, then I know it's going to look good. There's no point sending CJ, and like she mentioned earlier, I'm going to have to experiment with the styling. Well, experiment in front of the stylist.
That's true.
So I can direct you and help you, because that's incredible. Let me grab a mirror. Don't be scared, you can wear a messy, you can wear a flat, sleek, whatever you want to do.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, I like the texture here.
Oh
I like it that way. That looks cool. That looks cool that way.
Fun. Oh, I'm going to have so much fun with this.
Which way are you going to do it? Because I'm going to spray it. I think the other side works better.
Really?
If you lift it up off your face. If you want to wear it like that beautiful sweat fringe look like you got going on there, like that, you absolutely need to do it that way.
This way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, that's the way that the hairline grows. Let me grab a bit of spray and we'll lock it in there. And then you can go to the modelling job. Eyes closed. Amazing.
Amazing.
Smoking hot. And thank you so much for letting me do it again.
Thank you.
Don't thank me. Please fine.
Wow. Really suits me.
Are you surprised?
Well, I had a vision, but yeah, I like it a lot. And I love this, how it comes down like this. Yeah,
Because you can shift that, you can actually shift this
I'll be able to have fun
away
with
if you want
yeah.
softness. You've still got enough to do that.
Yeah. Genius.
Alright, let's have a look, eh? Let's take this off. We'll just grab the blow dryer.
Yeah.
Grab that there. Just like that. Have a seat. Let's have a look. How do you feel?
Great. It's amazing. I'm a bit lost for words, actually.
Yeah, it's
a bit
good.
of a shock, but
So
good.
let's recap what we did, and we'll start from the very beginning. So we started with identifying where the crown was going to be. Just pop your feet up there. I don't want your ankle to get caught. Where the crown was going to be, and obviously it's here. So this is where our whole distribution started from. Once I identified that, I knew how far I had to leave this down to blend it in. We did that. We worked up into a weight line. We left it really wedged on the side, and you can see that it's now quite flat. The good thing is though, if we want to create a little bit of width on the sides, we have the ability to, because we created it with graduation, and then we texturized it. So we've got the shape and the foundation to create, to bring the volume out, but because we started with structure, but now we unstructured it with texturizing, you can actually collapse it and wear it flat too. Best of both worlds. Didn't really need to do much on the top, blended it in, and then we just worked it through to this front. This side looks like a little cute sweeping fringe. Yeah, and the other side just sort of just tucks back in that way nicely. As I just said to CJ, probably couldn't see because of the camera angle. That'll just sit there nicely as well. You can see it all flows For me, it's all about flow, and the only way you can do that is by identifying the way that the hair grows and the growth patterns, and that's a smooth look. You saw me flip it the other side. It's got great texture in it. I like it a little bit looser than that. So when I look at the side, I want this to be balanced. So I don't want to have it too flat there. Same here, you just want to have some texture in the back. Yeah, awesome. You look amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You can just see how it actually really, like you can see it's perfectly shaped for your cheekbones. And that's what that's all about. Eyes, cheekbone.
Yeah. Awesome.
Cool. All right. Now I guess it's time to say goodbye, right? Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
I love it.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Have a seat. Thanks, guys. Yeah, let's show some appreciation for CJ, because not only is it we're very lucky to have someone so beautiful with us, as in what's in here, not just appearance, but she actually allows me to be creative with her hair. And from seeing the comments on the last video, it's actually quite moving to see how many women is inspired to, you know, cut their hair off and, you know, sort of break that whole mold of having to have, you know, really long hair, and that's my sort of security. You know, cut it off, have some fun, especially now in the southern hemisphere. We got summer, might be a good time to do that. To all those people who saw that video and they've sent me messages, and they're specific people, I'm not going to name them for their privacy. The struggle is real, and I hear it, and I encourage you to stay strong, and yeah, just be really, really strong, and I'll be praying for you guys. And yeah, hopefully we'll get to see CJ in the future again. Please share it. Make sure you go to her website, currentjack.com. Check her out on Instagram. I'm going to make her get Snapchat. And yeah, thanks very much for tuning in, and see you guys next time.